Well, Mr. Bazirao, I would like to explain you our concept, which can be helpful for your clients. It is regarding, sustainable human transformation with cosmic cognitive restructuring. This is how we would like to deal with with many problems, regarding wellness, the mental problems, the physical areas, understanding of people. So, actually, there are about 16 major religions in the world. And as I told you, there are about 4,000 different sects about all these religions. And we are 7-odd billion people on this earth. So each one of us is connected to some kind of a faith, And then what really happens? That in the family we are born, we learn something in our homes, in the family, in our childhood. Which of course our parents who are connected to some kind of a faith, so that affects us. And we learn little more on that. Gradually we enter our school and then learn little more. But at the same time, having our faith along with us. Then we interact with general people, with the society. And something wonderful happens, that all of us, having those kind of philosophies, develop our own. And this particular philosophy, which whatever we will develop after getting connected to any kind of a faith, then it becomes our own philosophy of life. And that philosophy reflects into our psychology, and that psychology decides our behavior with the society. Now here is a point, as we are 7-odd billion people on this earth, then it means there are 7-odd billion philosophies we are dealing with. And this is very difficult to manage all that. So what we have done is that we are trying to bring in one particular philosophy. One philosophy that is going to bring all the philosophies together. And this philosophy is based on, it's a very unique and an innovative concept where we are trying to explain, we can call it as a spirituality. Because it is regarding the self, So we are trying to explain spirituality through science and logic here. And it is under the heading of right to enlightenment, which is based on co-aim theory and practice. Co-aim means that it is correlation. A means attention, I means information, M means material. So what we consider, it is correlation of attention, information and material. Whereas here I would like to explain that we are explaining attention as the outer expression of the creative intelligence, which is our soul. And we say in our concept that this soul, this creative intelligence, is connected to its source in the center of the expanding universe. And the outer expression of this creative intelligence is our attention. And here we say that wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. Because there are certain divine aspects in your attention. Say for example, somebody is hurt, your attention goes, immediately the compassion comes to help. So it has got beautiful attributes, the attention, which is love, compassion, mercy, wisdom, humility, state-of-art planning ability, let us face as it comes, etc. And this particular aspect, to deal with the world with this ability solves most of the problems, of humanity. Then what we have done, that we have explained you what mind is. We say that the mind is nothing but information of time based on experiences and events of your life. And about those experiences, you pre-calculate the future. Fears and worries get added as information only. So what we have evolved, that the mind is nothing but information of time plus the laws of nature. The third law also is very clear here, that every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. That means what we sow, so we reap. So shall you, whatever you sow, so shall you reap. So this is how is the mind explained in our concept. And then we say here, over and above, that we have acquired this mind from the universal mind, embedded with laws of nature and the information system. And then we refined it from the causal mind into astral and then physical. Then we have got a created body. We started from the first single cell and graduated to the crown of creation, the human body, covering the aspects of Darwin's evolution theory as well. So here we are saying that the whole cosmos is one living entity. We are part of that. So the center of the expanding universe is the abode of the absolute intelligence and a capable force, which is omnipresent, omniscient. And we can prove it through a lot of logic. It is particle and wave theory. It is everywhere. And then it has got a mind, the universal mind I call it, that runs the whole cosmos in a predestined movement from its beginning till its end. That's what is universal mind. And it is embedded with all the laws of nature, like physics, mathematics, chemistry. All those aspects are there in that laws of nature. Plus there are floating material bodies which are made out of 100 and odd elements. My body is made out of those elements because it is known as synthesis of proteins, the first life. Proteins are compounds of elements as per periodic table. And then we have got an acquired mind, and then we created the body. So our soul is practically that light and sound, because it is particle and wave. If light and sound strikes on pure elements, converts them into amino acids. And amino acids synthesize the proteins to become the first life on earth, which graduated from single cell to the crown of creation, the human body. So this is how the whole cosmos is there, and we are part of that. My body is made out of that. My mind is connected to the universal mind that operates my mind through high tide and low tide. Because my mood swings, those high tides hit certain parts of my brain and trigger some of those aspects like lust, anger, ego, attachments, etc. And that's how I start behaving. Now, mind is information based. If you have taught somebody Mandarin language or French language or any other language, he knows only that. So the mind needs to be told that there is divine within you. You are part of the whole, and that creative intelligence is within you. Whereas the body deals with hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Whereas mind deals with the information like lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears and worries. Because it pre-calculates the future, and fears and worries get added as information, plus laws of nature, of course. Now, the body needs, they withdraw the attention, the outer expression of the creative intelligence, because that is what is operating us. It withdraws the attention takes the body for the food towards the kitchen. Stepwise it goes there. Attention takes you. In the meantime, this second fellow in us is our mind. And this fellow mind explains or reminds us of the taste it had earlier. So it would like to have that Pizza Hut salad bar or something of that kind. So now the attention has been withdrawn by the mind. And mind informs, well, the money is lying there, vehicle is there, the shop is there, go and bring it. It will go 1.5 inch down through the tongue, through the throat, and there is no taste. So what I would like to say here, I would like to emphasize that body and mind use my attention like a donkey day in and day out. And that is what is happening. And we don't realize this part because the Western sciences did not recognize the soul. Even the subject psychology, they've been dealing with mind and body only. So they explained love as lust and sex. Whereas the divine love is caring. Love is not an emotion. It is caring. Because these emotions make a person terrorist also. Body and mind join hands together. They work in tandem. And they convince you to become a terrorist. Whereas you have got that beautiful, beautiful soul within you with divine attributes, with its outer expression as attention, which carries all those divine attributes. So instead of consulting our soul, what we are going to do, our action or our speech. So this needs to be conveyed in a manner to the patients who are suffering mental sicknesses, depressions and whatnot. If they know that they have got divine within, and they can develop that restraining intelligence before they get into action or into anger or into any aspects of the mind, lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceits, fears and worries. Then one can have a restraining intelligence in his behavior. So this particular philosophy, which connects you with the whole cosmos, we call it cosmic cognitive restructuring. So your understanding, your cognition has to be worked up. And once you know you are that, then your behavior is going to change. Because this philosophy will change your psychology, and psychology will change your behavior. And that's how one can develop that restraining intelligence in this life, and always have an access to the divine to solve day-to-day problems of life. So this makes you happy, healthy, prosperous, and connected with the source of knowledge, which can always guide you to live a nice life. Because we are here for a short while. So all these areas, the kind of talks we make, the way we interact with our people, we can make them understand, especially your clients, which can feel a tremendous change in their lives. So what I was saying in the beginning, that it is a sustainable humane transformation. And I would like to work with you on that. Please let me have your terms and conditions so that I can come, take some of your classes. I can train your people. I can train your, clinical staffs who are dealing with different kinds of patients. So we can organize certain classes and all. If you like this concept, you are welcome. Let's have a collaboration on it and let's work it out for the whole world. It's unique and very innovative. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.